Remember when Texas was number 4 in the country? We just went on the road and beat a very good West Virginia team after Andrew Jones game winner, and everything looked really, really good, man. Shaka Smart was, on fire, kept his job, and since then, it has been pretty bad. 4 out of 5 losses, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about why Texas basketball has been struggling as of late, because there's quite a few problems that need to be fixed right here, and I think we can fix them. But let's just get into it real quick. Let's quick rundown of the losses. Lost to Texas Tech. Mac McClung hits a game winner. Texas Tech is a top 15 team. Lost to Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a top 15 team. Lost to Baylor. Baylor's probably the best team in the country, right? Or second, whichever, right? Gonzaga. Lost to Oklahoma State, a pretty good team, but a team we shouldn't have lost to. So those are the teams we lost to. And let's look at some of the problems, because there are a good amount of problems here that have to be addressed. One, COVID. That's not really an excuse for our bad play, but it has played a factor, has played a role in our struggles as of late. Obviously, the Oklahoma game was, the game that was really, really hampered by the positive test of Shaka Smart and Ramey and Sims and Brock Cunningham were all out of that game, and we lost that game by 1 point. That really put a damper on us. We were not able to practice as much as we normally would be. So I mean, that really hurts right there. And then the other postponements, the at Iowa State game, the at the TCU game, both of those games were just washed. Which led to the Texas Tech loss. But another big issue is turnovers. Turnovers. We're turning the ball over way too much. In fact, we've had 22 turnovers versus Oklahoma State, which was today. 17 turnovers versus Baylor. You're not going to beat Baylor. Turn the ball over 17 times. I promise you that. 13 turnovers versus Oklahoma. And 15 turnovers versus Texas Tech. And in every single one of those games, we had more turnovers than the other team. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win many games turn the ball over like that. And the most disappointing thing about it is that we have 3 very, very experienced guards in Matt Coleman, Andrew Jones, and Courtney Ramey. They're really, really good. They're really, really steady for the most part, but they're a part of that problem, the turnover problem, right? They're not doing a very good job of that as of late. It's not all on them, but they do have to do a better job of taking care of the ball themselves and putting other guys in better positions to be successful. And another reason why we're turning the ball over is guys are just trying to do too much. This Oklahoma State game was egregious to watch, especially in the first half and early the second half. Like, Kai Jones would get a rebound and then he'll start dribbling up the court. No, that's not what we're supposed to do. And then he'll have a charge, or he'll try some crazy dribbling and turn the ball over. Or Greg Brown would, not go up strong with the ball, get it stripped from him. Or he would get the rebound and try to push it up the court and he gets stripped, or something like that. Where our guys are just trying to do too much. And then there's a lot of traveling calls. There's a lot of guys getting too antsy. Like, we just got to slow down on offense. There's a lot of travels in that Oklahoma State game. Our guys are just shuffling their feet. They're trying to make a quick move. Yes, you got to make a quick move, but you have to be composed. When you're traveling like that, you're like a deer in headlights. You don't really know what you're doing at that moment in time. So our guys need to just do a better job of slowing down. Our guards need to demand this to the other guys, to the bigs, to just not do too much. My third problem that has been plaguing us during this slump has been the fouling. Boy, has it been egregious. Our fouling game has never really been that good under Shaka Smart. We're always a pretty good defensive team, I would like to think. We're really good this year. But it's like we foul a lot because we're out of position a lot of the time. Or we're trying to do too much once again, right? We're reaching in, or we're jumping where we're not supposed to. We need to be more disciplined defensively. We are a very good defensive team. We've seen it in the first half of the season. During this middle part of the season, it has not been that way. We've given up 80 points a couple times, and the fouling game has been egregious. Once again, we gave up 31 free throw attempts to Oklahoma State. 31. We only gave up 4 to Baylor, so that's good. But Baylor still beat us pretty handily at that. We gave up 34 free throw attempts to Oklahoma. That's a lot of Austin Reeves right there. He's unstoppable in my eyes. We gave up 28 free throw attempts to Texas Tech. In all of those games, except the Baylor game, the opponent has had more free throw attempts than we did. We have to be in the right position. We have to be disciplined. That's the big word. My last big problem is guys doing too much, and that goes hand in hand with the turnovers. Kai Jones, when you get the rebound on the defensive side, grab it, hold it high, and hand it to your guard. Don't try to dribble it up the court. Don't try to make a move. Don't try to do anything crazy or special. You know, every possession, especially in the Big 12 where all these games are close, no matter who it is, pretty much every single game is going to be close and down to the wire. That's just how Big 12 basketball is, right? Every possession matters, and we cannot be giving up possessions on careless, reckless plays like that. Let's look at it here. What do I want to see improved? Obviously, those 3 things, the turnovers, the fouling, and the guys doing too much, those are off jump. But here are some other things. We need to stop giving Jericho Sims the ball in the post. Now, he's a great rim roller. He's a super athletic. I don't know how much more athletic you can get than that. Defensively, he's really good. He can switch out to some ones. He can switch 1 to 5, right? We can't give him the ball in the post, man. Unless he has a clear, obvious mismatch down in the post. Can we not give Jericho Sims the ball? Please, 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 please. Pretty please with a cherry on top. That's a wasted possession for the most part, because his footwork is not up to speed. How many times have we seen in the past couple years where we've tried to give Jericho Sims the ball? You know, we give him the ball, and then he ends up shuffling his feet and turnover. And I want to see more Kai Jones as well. Kai Jones he's not more athletic than Jericho Sims, but Kai Jones is pretty damn athletic himself. He can stretch the floor a little bit more. He can put the ball on the floor a little bit more. That's what I want to see, and I think I trust Kai Jones a little bit more in terms of shot blocking and in terms of guarding guards on the perimeter because he's longer. And I want to see more Jace Febres if he is healthy. If he's healthy, Jace Febres, there's no reason why he should be on the bench. Honestly, in my opinion. Donovan Williams had a pretty good couple games against. He had a really good game against Kansas, I remember. He had another really good game against, I think it was Kansas State, or I'm not really sure. He had another really, really good game. It might have been a Tech game. But he tries to do too much as well. He can't really shoot it like that. He's more of an off-the-dribble guy, and we don't want too many cooks in the kitchen when it comes to ball handling. We already got 3 really, really good guards. You know, having a guy out there like Jace, he's even more experienced, a better shooter, I think can fit better with this team right now. Should be getting more minutes if he's healthy. No knock on Donovan Williams, no knock on Jericho Sims. Those are great players, but you know, you gotta pick someone, man. Our team is so deep, and that leads me to my last thing I want to talk about here is I don't think we have to panic too much about this Texas team, because let me read this to you from an optimistic perspective, okay? We lost to Texas Tech. Mac McClung hits a game winner, right? Texas Tech is a top 15 team, maybe even the top 10 team here pretty soon. Texas Tech is really damn good. All right, we lost to them by 1 point. We lost to Oklahoma, where we're missing Shaka Smart, Courtney Ramey, Jericho Sims, Brock Cunningham, and after 2 previous postponements, which we hadn't, that means we hadn't played in like 2 weeks up until that Oklahoma game, and we lost that game by 1 point. No head coach, three players out, and we haven't played. We didn't play a game the previous 2 weeks, and we lost by 1 point to a really good Oklahoma team who has beat 2 other top 10 teams. There's no shame in that. I mean, we probably should have won that Oklahoma game. Just saying. We lost to Baylor. Baylor is, I think they're the best team in the country. You know, someone might say Gonzaga, y'all might say Gonzaga, that's fine or whatever. I'm not here to argue that. Baylor's the top 2 team in the country. It's Gonzaga, Baylor, and then it's a huge gap, and then it's everyone else. That's how bad it is. That's how good those 2 teams are. Okay. We lost to them by what? Like 12 points. It wasn't that bad. We were trailing most of the game. We had a stretch there where we came and took the lead on Baylor. I think if we had a better start to the game, we would have had a chance to win that Baylor game. Baylor's just in another class, though. We lost to Oklahoma State on the road after shooting 25% from the field. Let me repeat that. We shot 25% from the field. That means we're scoring 1 basket on every 4 possessions. We lost that game in double overtime. Now, that quick rundown was a very optimistic way of looking at it. Now, with all that being said, let me know how you feel about the Texas season. Are we still really like Final 4 contenders or Elite 8 contenders, or can we still win the Big? Well, we're not gonna win the Big 12. Baylor's running away with that. Can we win the Big 12 tournament? Are we still a really good team? Were we a fluke? Let me know. Let me know, man. I want to be a 2 seed, because if we're a 3 seed and lower, it's just, you know, in the makings of upset, in my opinion. So, if we can be a top 4 seed, that would be a successful season. But that being said, let me know. This is Jimmy from Just the Facts. I'm signing out. Hook 'em.